Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Football Heritage TV, wherever you are in the world. Good morning. It is match day. It feels like we haven't played for ages, but it was only 3 days ago. It just feels like a very, very long time since we played, and I'm not sure why, to be honest with you. I am excited for today. I think this is 3 points. I do. I feel like this is the most confident I've felt for 3 points all year. Other than the Everton game, which I think we all knew was going to be a little bit of a gimme, I feel like today is very much 3 points in the bag. I'm not belittling Brighton. I feel like this is a club that are trying to find a new identity under a new manager, trying to bed in a lot of players. They're missing some of their best players. They haven't won a Premier League game for 43 days. Big up to absolutely everybody in the chat. I know there's been a bit of a problem this morning with comments and things coming through, so hopefully all your comments are coming through. But big up to Ant, hope you are well. Good morning to D&B Forever. Good morning to Finn Rickwood. So talking about Brighton being a silky team, and he thinks they can play out of our press. We'll get into it. This is a 1 hour show, so here we are for this morning. And then I'll be back at 2:30 where I'm going to be joined by Kuva, possibly Iggy. I don't know. I keep asking him, keeps letting me down like I'm not worthy. I'm only joking. I've asked Iggy if he's available. We'll see if we can get Iggy on as well. And we'll at 2:30 we'll get more into the match day, the actual lineups. By then, Man U would have kicked off away at Aston Villa. Surely got to be the last straw for Ten Hag if he loses today. You've got Chelsea who are looking to continue their good form at home to Nottingham Forest. That should be a very interesting game as well. And I'll be honest, I can't see any way in which Chelsea don't win that. However, there have been surprises thrown up. The only teams there aren't any surprises would be the big three, who are, as you guessed it, first, second, and third in the Premier League. And if Spurs don't win today, Villa and Chelsea don't win today, it looks like they'll already be running away with it after 7 Premier League games. But we'll get into that. Good morning to Adam Jones. Good morning to Anthony Clark as well. How you doing? See, your boys had I would say a big win yesterday, but came from 1-0 down. I never know with Arsenal whether you guys think you played well or not. I feel like you're getting to that stage where winning 3-1 isn't enough for you and some of your fans. Let me know what you think, Anthony. I haven't seen any of the goals from yesterday apart from the 2 games that were on TV. Big up to Tony Rodriguez. How you doing, brother? I hope you're well. Big up to me. There I am. And big up to Vinny Rowley as well. Who else has come in? We've got Henry Thong TV. Big up to you. Hope you're well. The Spurs Danalist, big up Dan, hope you're well. Let's speak. We should get you on. We'll have a show, etc., etc., etc. Big up to Kate Rickson. Good morning, Kate. I am very well. How are you? Excuse all this fluffiness. I am going to the gym as soon as this finishes. Stream, gym, lunch, stream. That is today's plan to get fit. Big up to Bella in the chat as well. How you doing, Bella? Hope you're well. Warrior Spurs said, SAVVA, my G. Okay, cool. I'll be someone's G. Big up to you. Big up to you. Today it intrigues me. Brighton are a very interesting team. Look, let's bring up the league table. We'll bring up the league table. As you can see there, hopefully, is that big enough for it? I think that should be big enough. I think everyone can work out who is who. Look, you've got if we look at Brighton, where Brighton are, a very interesting team. They've only lost 1 game. Okay, they've lost 1 game, which is better than Spurs. But they've drawn a lot of games in there, haven't they? They've drawn a lot of games. And you can see that spell for them where, and let me see if I hover over that, I think you'll be able to see. If I hover over, you can see that here. So this is their last home win. Hopefully you can see where I'm hovering over. It will show, it will say Brighton beat Manchester United 2-1. That was 43 days ago. That's a long time now, a long time ago since Brighton won a Premier League game. Since then, they've had 1-1 draw at Arsenal, which is a great result. Then they drew 0-0 with Ipswich, which they would have been very disappointed about. Ipswich just coming up, haven't won a game yet. Then the draw with Forest, who have had a decent start to the season. That's not the worst draw in the world. Then they got, Is 4-2 being battered? I don't know. 4-2. Look, that game against Chelsea could have been 4-2, 4-all, 5-5, 7-7. I don't know. There was a lot of chances. But what we did learn from that game was, and again, I don't know. I'm not sitting here saying that the tactics are going to be mirrored. But what we did learn is about the high line, and we'll get into that in a minute. But I think, like Finn Rickwood has said here, absolutely, they're the definition of Jekyll and Hyde. Absolutely, the definition of Jekyll and Hyde. Big up to you all, by the way. Just a reminder that we're only about 170 subs away from giving away 2 free tickets to Tottenham versus Ipswich. That's 2 complimentary executive tickets, Tottenham versus Ipswich Town on the 10th of November. And you will win a free Spurs shirt as well. So I'm teaming up with a couple of people that are making this happen for us. Please get over if you want to find out about tickets for all sporting events, not just Spurs, to Tix2 Tottenham over on X. I'm not on X, but Tix2 Tottenham, and just ask for Tix, T-I-X, okay? But we need another 170 subscribers. When we get to that stage, we will be giving away the 2 tickets in a draw. I can't say fairer than that. But look, let's have a look at this table. So Brighton, it's strange, isn't it? Because Spurs have had a mini revival in terms of league form. For me, as everyone knows, Spurs win, lose, win. You know, I think this is a really important game that we continue that win. I think if you lose this, you start to look very much like a yo-yo team. Win, lose, win, lose. So for me, this is a big game. But you see them, Brighton are sitting 1 point behind us. And their fans at the moment, from what I've seen a couple of YouTube shows, I can't say all their fans, right? It's a sample size. Don't seem to be too happy, not converting enough chances, not putting teams to bed when they're playing well. But look, I think that when we actually look at Brighton, I think they're a team, again, they're always in transition. I think that's the one thing we can say about them. Brighton are always a team in transition. Over the last few years, they've lost Caicedo from central midfield, Enzo Fernandez from central midfield, Billy Gilmore from central midfield. James Milner's getting a lot older now. They've lost Cucurella from the back, Ben White from the back. They seem to lose a lot of players, and then they build again. Now, they're a good footballing team. I'm not going to belittle them in any way. They want to play. We'll come back to this in a minute. They want to play the right way, which is something that a lot of people say. With that in mind, I think it makes for an entertaining game. However, Brighton play a very high line. Spurs play a high line. Brighton play a high line. This could be a very, very open game. However, I do expect Spurs to get this job done professionally. And again, remember this, when Spurs have won the game later and loads of people are coming in my chat, oh, we won, what have you got to say? I truly think we're going to win this game. I said it in, who here am I in a WhatsApp group with? I'm in a WhatsApp group with this guy, Nige, big up, bro. He'll tell you yesterday, I said, I think we're going to beat Brighton. I do. I think it's poor to not beat them. The reason being is no Matt O'Reilly, no João Pedro, no Van Heck. For me, that's 3 very strong players for them through that spine of the team. And I think, João Pedro, I think is a wonderful footballer. I would love him at Tottenham. I think he's a really good footballer. I really like Matt O'Reilly. I said a number of times during the summer and last year that I would have loved Matt O'Reilly at Tottenham Hotspur. And Van Heck, I think Van Heck for me stops their defence being very slow. Now, this is the interesting thing, isn't it? When you look at Brighton's defence that plays a high line, at the moment, without Van Heck, they're playing it with Webster and with Dunk. Now, I don't mind either of those two as centre-halves. I actually really like Lewis Dunk as a centre-back. I think he's had a really good career. I think he's a solid pro. You know what you're going to get from him. However, on that kind of transition, on that high line, are Dunk and Webster the 2 players you want to be on the halfway line or 40, 50 yards away from goal? I'm not so sure. And that's where I think Spurs will control this game. Now, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Brighton could come out here and they could play us off the park. I just can't see it. I really hope I'm right. I just can't see it. I think that we've got a lot of confidence flowing through our veins. You know, all right, yes, it wasn't the greatest performance away at Ferencváros, but those away games in Europe very rarely are great, right? They're very rarely games that you come away and go, oh, we've won 4-0 and beaten a really good side. They're hard, they're scrappy. But in terms of coming off the back of league form, the Man United win was very good. The Brentford win was good. And for me, this is needed. And I'm going to look at the league table in a minute. I'll come back to that. Let me get to some comments, see what people in the chat are saying. It's how I've based my YouTube channel. We've evolved massively from a channel that had loads of panel shows to more one-on-one with me and the audience, me and maybe a Kuva, for example. Lots of premiered videos, but at the heart of it is always getting to the comments. I truly believe that is the way to go. I thought that might get me more love, but it doesn't. But hey, it is what it is. But talking about love, smash that like button. Only 42 likes from 180 people is absolutely absurd. We should be on 100 likes minimum. Smash that like button, people. And thank you to the 2 people that did just subscribe. So please do subscribe if you haven't and smash the like button. That is really poor. 41 likes. Where are we? Who have we got in the chat? Good morning to Robert Wilson. Good morning to you. Anthony Clark has said it was okay performance. I was concerned when we went 1-0 down, but with this team, they have to believe they can come back and win. Yeah, and to be fair, you boys are coming back to win. Is it free-flowing, freestyle, winning football? I mean, you guys can make that decision for yourself. But yes, I mean, look, Southampton, I'm going to say it again. I said it last week and the week before. That Dibbling who plays for Southampton is a very good footballer. That is a very, very good young footballer. Definitely one to watch out for. And I can't see him being at Southampton for too many years. Sorry, Southampton fans. Good morning to Lynn Simpson. Hope you're well, Lynn. How you doing? Hope you're well. Super Spinky has said, just put $10 on a 5-0 win, Werner hat-trick. I'd love to know the odds on Werner getting a hat-trick in a game. That would be absolutely amazing. Bella, yeah, again, going by the form, it's 50-50. But I think Brighton started like a house on fire and they've started going like this. We didn't start like a house on fire and we started going like that. So it's got all the makings of a really exciting Premier League game of football, right? We will see. We will absolutely see. Big up to Nige, Pure COYS. How you doing, bro? Much love to you. Hope you're well. Big up, Phil P. Happy Sunday, everyone. Yeah, happy Sunday to you, Phil. Much love to you and the family. EJH said the most obvious bet for Brighton v Spurs game is both teams to score. Well, I agree. I do think there'll be a lot of goals in this game. And we'll get to the team news in a minute, by the way. We'll just go through a few comments first and foremost. Big up to Howling Mad Murdoch. Said Fulham's Adama Traore is the next level Werner. Another player, quick, can't score goals. The number of times he went through yesterday on Man City. Oh, wow, how he didn't score. But, hey, that's always been his problem in his career. I can't see it changing. Good morning to the Spurs analyst. Big up to you, Dan. Said Brighton centre-backs are not the quickest. Surely we'll have many opportunities. Well, again, as I just said, Dan, yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be really interesting to see. Has he learnt his lesson from the Chelsea game? Does he try and do it again against Tottenham, which I think would be a huge mistake from a Brighton perspective? So we'll see. As I said, I expect Spurs to win this game. I really do. Big up to Chills, who said, yeah, Caicedo and McAllister was an elite midfield. It really was. You're starting to see now. I mean, I think McAllister's really grown into be an integral part of that Liverpool team. I think Caicedo now has settled down at Chelsea. I think it was quite tough for him at first. Him and Fernandes seem to have got a good bond in that midfield now. 2 very good players. Robert Wilson has said, we're going into the game full of confidence. Brighton 1, Spurs 2. That's what I'm predicting as well, by the way. Lynn said, to be fair, your team has started to improve. However, did you see Ange in his press conference? He looked as if he had just got out of bed. So if this is how he is when he does training, hence the sloppy play. I haven't seen what you're talking about, but hey, I'll take your word for it. Finn. So yeah, I really like Matt O'Reilly. I think he's a really good player. I agree. Phil P said Brighton are missing some players, but create and concede a few chances. Phil, one thing I think we know about Brighton, that's right. They're going to create, but they're going to concede at the same time. I do. I think it makes for a great Sunday afternoon football game. Let's just hope we're on the right side of it. And we'll go back to the league table in a minute to show why it's really important to get the win today, by the way. It's very important. None of that, it's Brighton. We've got to win this. Dean said a draw good enough. Dean, we're going to come to that in a minute because I'm going to show the league table again and show why a win is really, really important. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up Sam Smith now. Said, good morning, Savage. Do you think Wolves are getting relegated? Do I think Wolves are getting relegated? Look, it's early in the season. I think at the moment, look, they've not been left, they've not drifted away. At the moment, they are only, believe it or not, having not won a game all season, they're only one win away from not being in the bottom three. But they have got some worrying trends and they are letting in goals for fun. So they've really got to change it round. I think somebody said that their next game is Man City. I might have made that up. Let's have a look. Wolves. I like O'Neill. I think he's got some great ideas as a manager. I just don't know if he's got the players. But he's got to shut up shop a little bit. Wolves, let's have a look for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Their next game, their next two games are Man City at Wolves and then Brighton away. That's then they've got a run where they've got Palace, Southampton, Fulham, Bournemouth, Everton, West Ham, Ipswich. That's where they've got to pick up their points. So ask me this question again in a month. I think it could be a very different answer. But right now, they really are struggling. Good morning to Sax889. Good morning to you as well. Bear with me 1 second, please. Sorry about that. Daniela Stewart said, as a happy hammer, hoping for a Brighton win or draw. Tough opponent at their ground. Yeah, listen, I don't think they haven't lost at their ground yet. Somebody's got to beat them. Let's hope it's Tottenham. I know you won't hope that. But again, a good win for your boys yesterday. It's crazy, isn't it? For all the people saying West Ham haven't had a good start to the season, only 2 points away from Tottenham. So there's a lot of clubs bunching up in the middle of that table there. And that's why Spurs really need to kick on today to pull away from that. Gus has said, why is every side we play lately depleted? Andrew's got very lucky with the fixtures and injuries to opposition last few matches. Since Johnson is now Bow and Andrew's a genius, I expect no less than 4. Good morning and happy sarcasm day to you, Gus. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. Ryan has said, morning, Sava. I hope you and your family are good. We are very good. Thank you very much. We are good. Apart from the fact I've got to go gym after this. I've got to psych myself up to get to the gym on a Sunday morning. But then I'll be back with everybody at 2:30 with Kuva, I believe. And I've invited Iggy as well. So we'll see if he's available. Andrew is going with 2-2 and a lot of missed chances. I just get the feeling, I'm going to be honest, I think the defending in the Premier League is crap, if I'm honest. I looked at the number of goals that flew in yesterday. I look at the number of teams that are so wide open at the back. I expect lots of goals and lots of missed chances. I agree with you, Andrew. Shem Tan, big up Shem, and said, morning, Sava. I hope you're well. Let's hope for a win and a good performance. Mitoma always worries me. I really like Mitoma. I think he's a very, very good footballer. Yes, he's a very good player. He's going to try and exploit that space left behind by Porro when he pushes up. So, again, lots of intriguing battles all over the park today. An intriguing battle is going to be me and likes from you lot. 74 likes. 250 people in the chat. Come on, people. This is poor. We should have a lot more than this. 74 likes from 250 people in the chat. Albert has said the Highline Express. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Where are we? TB has said today's game is a potential banana skin. Brighton are playing well. Yeah, they're not winning many. I think that's the tough thing for them at the moment is they're not winning many and they've not won for 43 games, but it's a home game. So we'll see. We'll see. Big up to No Gas. I like that. No Gas. All right. Like and subscribe. Big up to you. Tony Rodriguez has gone for a 2-2. Also, whilst in the chat, let me know. Man United are away at Aston Villa. Yeah, we're not Man U or Villa fans, but it's the story everyone's talking about, right? Ten Hag, can he afford to lose today at Aston Villa? I'm not sure he can. If he loses today at Villa, and I've got Villa in my ACCA, by the way, if he loses at home to Villa today, away at Villa, and keeps his job, that Man United board, I've got the patience of a saint. Sammy, but then again, if Man United win today and we lose, Man United are level with Spurs. So it's all very interesting, isn't it? It's all very interesting. And I suppose it's about perspectives of how we look at things. Liam is expecting a tough game. He's gone for a 2-1 to Tottenham. Ken Cole has said, I can see United beating Villa to prolong their misery. It does feel like that for United, doesn't it? It felt like when they got that last-minute goal from Harry Maguire, it kind of, against Porto, it kind of felt like, oh, well, that's going to see him in for another few games. Big up, Philly. I said, big up my brother from another mother. Big up to you. When it comes to Werner, this famous saying comes to mind. It's not how you start that's important. It's how you finish. Yes, Timo Werner is coming under a lot of slack. Look, I didn't want him here. I think we're seeing every week why fans like me didn't want him here. You know what will happen, though? The moment he scores a goal, people will go mad like, oh, is this the start of Timo Werner? It is what it is. By the way, thank you for the people smashing the like button. We're getting closer to the 100 likes. Please do keep subscribing as well. As I said, we're only 170 odd away from giving away 2 free tickets to Tottenham versus Ipswich at White Hart Lane, which should be 3 points. Big up to Lumen, who said, good morning, Savva. Do you think Man U are getting relegated? No, I do not think Man United are getting relegated. I actually worry that if they do get rid of Ten Hag, I think they've got some good players there. I think if they get rid of Ten Hag, they could get a new lease of life. And I think that everyone who's going, oh, Ten Hag out, I think we've got to be careful, depending on who they bring in, of course. TB has gone for 2-3, so 3-2 to Spurs in his Super 6 prediction. Oh, is that the Villa game or the Spurs game? Let me know. Adam Jones, 4-3 to Spurs. Terry saying, sod the gym. Yeah, I know, but I've sodded the gym so much lately that I'm starting to put on a tiny bit of weight. So the gym, I can't sod it today. I need it. I desperately need it. No, it's definitely cardio day today. It's definitely cardio day today for me. Always do a little bit of weights, but definitely some cardio today. Matoma is a real baller, says Simon. Yeah, I like Matoma. I think he's a good player. Definitely a player I'd like to see on our left-hand side. I think that he would be a great natural successor for Son. That's just me. Dean has said, don't injure yourself at the gym, Sav. I plan not to. But I am unfit, so we never know. Marcus said, what's your predictions for the other games? Right. Well, if we look at the other games today, we're looking at Villa, Man United. I think that Villa could run away with this. I think this could be the last straw. I'm going to go with 4-1 Villa. I'm going to go with 4-1. Now, the only reason why I think I might be being a bit overzealous there is how much did the Bayern Munich game take out of Aston Villa? We will see. But I do think Villa will win it, no matter what the score. I think Chelsea will beat Nottingham Forest as well. I think they'll have too much in attack. I think the worrying thing when people are looking at Chelsea should be, look at the firepower they've got. I mean, the other night, the front three they played, and I'm sitting there watching Palmer not in the team, Nicholas Jackson not in the team, Madueke not in the team, and they've still got Neto, they've still got Nkunku, Mudryk played well, they've got goals, Felix, they've just got goals from all over the park. And everyone was having a pop at Chelsea in the summer about what are they doing. I think they're a good team. I really do. We'll look at the form table in a minute. We'll look at the Premier League table. I'll just get to a few more comments. Tony thinks Villa 3-1. I reckon that's probably closer to my 4-1. Phil P says, Sava, you'll smash the gym. I'm not sure anymore, Phil. When I'm in there, I feel like I'm going through the motions at times. Villa 3-1. Villa should smash United. Villa will win that. You know, we're all setting it up for a Man United away win here, aren't we? Matt James, 3-2 Spurs. Matt James gone 3-0 Villa. I think LFC will be there or thereabouts. Yeah, I think the front three, I don't think there'll be too much in them this season. Big up, every trophy matters. Hey, Savington. I've never been called that before. It's one of the better ones. Big up to you. Hope you're well. Ronnie has said, big up SAVVA, Villa 2, Man United 1, Brighton 1, Tottenham 3. Yeah, I could see that happening. I could very easily hear that saying. Liam, yeah, which is why I think they're going to miss him. I do think they're going to miss him big time. I like Van Heck. I think he's very important to the way they play. And I do think they're going to miss him massively. Kate has said Ratcliffe going to the Villa game. Yeah, I saw, I'm sure a lot of you did on Sky Sports. Sure, I saw Jim Ratcliffe being, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, sorry, being interviewed. And he said, you know, oh, look, I don't make the decision. And it was like, oh, you don't make the decision. Okay. Didn't you just pump in a couple of billion quid or something? But okay. So look, I just can't see. I tell you, do you know who's winning at the moment? Do you know who's winning from Man United not winning? Man United YouTubers are raking in the money. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. They might fly off the handle and lose their minds. They're making their money. Don't you worry about that. Derek has said a 4-0 spanking for Man United. EJH, what's my ACCA for today? Okay, here we go. Here's my ACCA for today. I've got Juventus to beat Calgary, Aston Villa to beat Man United, Chelsea to beat Forest, Lazio to beat Empoli, Bristol City to beat Cardiff, Aberdeen to beat Hearts, Barcelona to beat Alaves, Bayern Munich to beat Frankfurt, and PSG away at Nice is the last of those 9 games. Someone lets you down. They always do. Someone lets you down. But hey, it's only a little bit and it's a good laugh, right? Ross thinks today is a tough game. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's going to be easy. I do think we should be winning this, though. I really do think we should be winning this. But every trophy matters said, just stay positive, back the team, feel the love, Sonny's happy, Andrew's cooking, come on you Spurs. That's a lot of information there in one message. Big up to Bella, who has gifted 1 Football Heritage TV membership. I don't know who that's gone to. Let me see if I can find out. It looks like it's gone to Andrew W. So big up, Andrew. Big up, Bella. Thank you so much for the generosity. Andrew, you know, say thank you and all that kind of nice, kind stuff. Big up to you, Bella. Thank you for all your support. Really, really do appreciate it. And big up Tim Man with the early morning super chat. As I said, I don't get many of those on this channel, so I really do appreciate it when I get them. Thank you very much. I said, morning, Sava. I don't want to be controversial, but do you think our fans are pinning all our hopes on our youngsters and we are overhyping them too much? Yeah, I mean, look, this is an interesting one, right? I mean, I suppose when you talk about pinning all our hopes, I always ask the question, don't I? What hopes? I mean, what does that mean? Somebody else might say their hopes this year are to win the league. And they're pinning their hopes on that. Other people, so I want 4th. That's my hopes. So I suppose it depends on what you mean by that. Look, what I would say with the youngsters, if we're looking at the teenagers, listen, Mikey Moore, I'm always impressed with. I think Mikey Moore is a really good footballer. He's different. He's built different. You can see. For me, Archie Gray, I've not been impressed with at all. But again, he's young. I don't think he looks ready. That's just my opinion. Same with Bergvall. I think a lot of people overhyped these two from a few cameos in pre-season. For me, Bergvall looks a bit lost when he's playing. You can see there's a footballer in there. But for me, very sloppy with the ball. Again, he's a kid. And again, this is what I've said. I keep getting stick for saying this, Tim Man. And thank you so much for the super chat. I will keep talking about this, but I'm going to move down some more comments. For me, I would have had one, if not both of them out on loan playing every week. I don't know for a player like Bergvall if playing 15, 20 minutes here, 45 minutes there is good enough. I don't know whether or not that's going to be for his type of player, whether that's going to help him build and grow and learn the game. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. He definitely looks a player for me, though. He looks a player. But again, looking a player and developing into a player are two very, very different things, aren't they? Who else have we got? Lancashire, really difficult to tell. Really difficult to tell. I don't think we got him into the game at all on Thursday night. Look, the boy can finish. I think we've seen that. I think he can finish. But can we get him into games? Can we get him into games to judge his touch, his hold-up play, his off-the-ball movement? That's what the club needs to work on. So for me, yeah, look, I think that people are going a bit overboard. Mikey Moore is a different level for me. I think you can see why all the hope's gone into him. But I do think that we're in an era now, Tin Man, and people might disagree with me. I think we're in an era now where if a young kid comes on and does one good back heel or one good pass, we go, oh my God, they're amazing, rather than actually watching them for 90 minutes and saying, okay, they're okay, but they need, as I said, I watched Tyler Dibbling 2 or 3 times this year for Southampton, and I'm really impressed with him when I watch him. You watch Rico Lewis at Man City, really impressed. Everything about him, his movement, his touch, his passing, his tackling, his driving forward. I look at our youngsters and they look very young. Does that make sense? I know they are young, but they don't look like those, wow, they're brilliant. Again, this is what Ange has to nurture. He has to bring them through. For me, though, I just think having both Bergvall and Gray in the squad to develop at once, I think we've made a bit of a boo-boo there, but we'll see. Where are we? Sorry. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is mighty, mighty generous of you. If only the likes were as generous. Only 112 likes so far. That's really, really poor, people. 112 likes. Where are we? Brian Daigle's in the house. Oh, and if you didn't catch my show with Brian, please do. SAVVA and Daigle discuss. We'll be back at it this week, won't we, Brian? Much love. One of my favourite people in the world is Brian Daigle. Somebody I talk to about all things, not just football. So big up to you, Brian. And we'll be doing it again this week. For anyone that did miss it, it's where Brian and I, somebody each week picks 6 topics. The other person doesn't know what they are, and we then discuss them 10-minute segments for an hour. And this week, it's Brian's turn to put the topics to me. He said, good morning, everyone in the chat, and my brother at Football Heritage TV. Hope you're well. I'm very well, yes. I have to admit, though, I have woken up. I haven't even showered, I'm going to be honest, because I am hitting the gym right away. I was never going to shower, gym, shower, street. No. So I look a bit fluffy and a bit messy. But have a great day. Come on, you Spurs. 3 more points. And Brennan, 6 incoming. Let's hope so. Let's hope him and Solanke keep up their goal-scoring form. Big up to Lemon Tang, who said, have to pin our hopes on them. They're half the squad. I think Tim Man will tell me if I'm wrong. I think Tim Man was referring to the teenagers. I don't think he was referring to the likes of Adogi and Sarr and those boys. I think he was referring to teenagers, but I could be wrong. Big up to TB, who said you should cover Man United if that's where the viewers are. No, yeah, but that's not my team. It's not my team. It would be really disingenuous for me to now just suddenly do loads of content on Man United, wouldn't it? It would be weird. Liverpool Truth Channel said Brighton and Forest have only lost once each this season. Chelsea and Spurs have difficult game. Yeah, listen, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. And look, we can look at that now. When we look at the table, you can see there that Brighton and Forest, they're starting to become the draw experts, aren't they? They've only lost 1, both of them. Both of them could have lost 2 by the end of the day, or both of them could have still only lost 1. So we'll see. Look, what I was talking about earlier about the importance of this game is I'm going to put that down. There we go. I'm going to put that. So 13th upwards. Look, what you've already seen here is the gap between Spurs and the big 3. Now, bearing in mind, I don't think Spurs will be anywhere near the big 3 come the end of the season. So don't ever go at me. I just don't think we're anywhere near as ready and as equipped as Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal. But what you can see there, and I don't expect it to be this big a gap come this evening, right? I do expect Chelsea and Villa to win the games, and I expect Tottenham to as well. But Chelsea, Villa and Tottenham have to win their games today just to keep up. Because already, look at that gap. Now, let's just assume that says Chelsea have played 7 and Villa 7, and they're both on 13 points, and Tottenham have still on 10 points after 7 games. The gap already forming from the big 3 to the rest is big. You're already looking at a 4 or 5 point gap after 7 games. And then you're saying for anybody to keep up with them, I'm not saying they will as the whole season goes on, but for anybody to keep up with them, you now need City, Arsenal and Liverpool to drop 2 games in a row. And whilst those teams below them aren't dropping at all. So for me, I think there's a lot of emphasis on Chelsea, on Villa, on Spurs, all to grab wins today. Let's focus on Spurs. If we don't win today, already, Villa and Chelsea I expect to win. It could be a 6-point gap to the top four. It could be, it could be a 6-point gap to the top four. Or it could be that we are in fourth at the end of the day and there's a 4-point gap to the top three. So it's a big game. You see what I mean? It's a really big game either way. I just think losing today would really show that we're not quite ready. Winning today, I think, tells you that, all right, we're ready to be in and around that 4th, 5th place. We'll see. Long way to go in this season. Long way to go in this season. And when you look at the league table, look, is anyone surprised? The cream rises to the top. Liverpool, City, Arsenal, I mean, Chelsea, Villa. Look at for me, the best 5 teams in the country are all up there. I think Chelsea have been a lot better than what people gave them credit for. And if you see, they've won 4 of their last 5 games. Villa have won 3 of their last 5. Liverpool are, I suppose, the form team, if you want, with 4 wins of the last 5, as well as Chelsea. So, look, a lot of interesting things have happened in the first couple of months of the season, and Spurs just need to make sure that we keep in there. We need to make sure, because what we can't do is sit and talk about how great our football is, sit and talk about this player, this generation, or this tactic, and then be sitting there level on points with Brentford, below Brighton and Fulham and Newcastle this early on. But we'll see more this afternoon, won't we? Our hopes should be getting top 4 and getting a trophy. Listen, I'd love to. I just acknowledge there's a lot of better teams than us that will also be thinking that they should get a trophy. Lynn said Emery could end up at Man U. I'd tell you what, that would be a perfect. Again, I wouldn't want that, because I think he's a top manager. Unai Emery's a top football manager. Really, really good football manager. He's proven it throughout the years. And for me, yeah, I think that would be good for them. Can I see him leaving Villa to go to Man United? I can't. I mean, you let me know in the chat, people. I can't see it. By the way, there's nearly 300 of you in here. Please, only 131 likes. Plus, we are, as I said, when we get to 14K subscribers, we're about 170 shy of that. We will be giving away 2 free tickets, Tottenham versus Ipswich. 2 free tickets plus a free Spurs shirt to that person, so they can go to the game in their brand new Spurs shirt. So please do keep smashing that subscribe button. I'm being asked here. Who asked me a question? I saw it. Yeah, I agree. I agree with this. Mikey Moore's the one that excites me. The other 2 I just look at and I think, yeah, okay, but they don't do anything for me yet. Mr. Post Office has said, I'm interested to know how Saka could be outstanding week in, week out, but there are still people who say he's good, just good. I think the difference is, Mr. Post Office, when I watch him, I don't think he is outstanding week in, week out. I think he's a very good footballer, yes. I don't think he's outstanding week in, week out at all. So that's where we're going to differ. Very good player. I'd take him on the right wing for Spurs all day, every day. But you know, I don't think he is outstanding every week. I think fans, we have a tendency to be a little bit biased towards our own. Who's my favourite Spurs player? Right now, my favourite Spurs player is probably Mickey van der Ven or Maddison. I think that we need both. I think Maddison gets a lot of stick, but without him, I think, you know, I think he does a lot of work in midfield. He gets on a ball. He tries to make things happen. I really like James Maddison, and when we play well, when he plays well, we play well. Mickey van der Ven, I think without him, I think that back 4 falls apart, if I'm brutally honest. I think he holds it together, and for me, he's the best defender we've got by a country mile, in my opinion. Haaland, there you go, just had that conversation. Big up to Radu, who says, SAVVA, if we don't win a trophy this season, then it would be a failure. No excuses on anything. And said he wins in the second season, and also said he chose the signings. Sure. Look, here's the thing for me. Ange can say that, and we can say they're his signings. It doesn't automatically entitle us to a trophy. Look, are we better than some of those clubs above us? I don't think we are. Liverpool, City, Arsenal, these clubs recent years have been, Chelsea, have been winning those cups. So for me, of course, it's not about an excuse, but if Spurs get knocked out to Man City in the cup, I mean, it's Man City, right? So I don't agree with you there, if I'm going to be completely honest. Good morning to Patrick Campbell. I hope you're well. Good morning to my three girls who said hello from Kenya. Oh, hello, all the way out there. Bergvall needs to be loaned out to a Premier League team, not ready for first team. Look, the question would be, which Premier League team would take Bergvall and play him every game? That's the thing, because some of the lower level teams, they haven't got time to be bedding in an 18-year-old. Yeah, they need ready-made players that can scrap in a relegation fight. So I don't really know. Look, and I'll say it again for people who are listening. I think Bergvall looks like he's got it all. I do. Do I think, sorry, let me remove that league table. Do I think he's ready? I don't. Whenever he comes on, I think he gives the ball away a lot. I'm not saying he's not a good footballer, but there's a huge difference between being talented and being ready. And for me, I'm not seeing it yet. I feel sorry for Gray. Gray being played right back, centre back, left back, anywhere but centre mid. So it's difficult. But for me, again, I just don't think they look quite ready. What we're doing as a fan base is we see them do one nice touch or one nice pass and we go, he's brilliant. But if you actually watch the 90 minutes, their touch, their control, their positioning, the number of passes they give away, you start to get a better picture of, are they actually ready? And a lot of fans don't do that. They'll watch a game and go, oh my God, did you see that one turn? So, for example, with Archie Gray, I'm seeing a back heel he did to get himself out of trouble the other day and people going, he's brilliant. For me, I look at his positioning. I look at his passing. For me, I just don't quite see it yet. That's not saying he's not going to be a good player, but I just don't think he's ready. And I get why Ange isn't starting them in Premier League games. I do. The hair is pointing on point. No, it's bloody not. Look at the state of it. No. I promise I'll look much better for the 2:30 show. I would play Bergvall every European match until crunch time. Sure. I don't disagree with you, but I think when you start playing the better teams, I think he'll get caught out, and those sloppy passes actually start to hurt us. Ryan, I agree. But do you know what, Ryan? Chelsea looked very good last season. It was only the first 10 games they didn't look good. Their form after that was brilliant. Their form from game 10 to game 38 was fourth in the Premier League. So they were very, very good. They had a lot of injuries. I think everyone's gone in on Chelsea way too soon again, having a dig, blah, blah, blah. I think they're a good team. Where are we? I think Chelsea are shooing for fourth. Well, they've got a lot of talent. And again, their decision was to not play Cole Palmer in the first group game stages of the Conference League. I think they'll be fine without him, resting him. So their main man is going to be fit every single weekend, isn't he? So that's interesting. Good morning to Phil COYS. How you doing, man? Said, hope you're well. A 4-2 win for Spurs today. Going to be end-to-end. That it is. And a great game for a neutral. That it is. Come on, you Spurs. I've got Chelsea, Villa and Spurs left on an 8-fold ACCA. Big up. I never put Spurs in my ACCAs, by the way. I never, ever put Spurs in my ACCAs, but good luck to you. I can see that coming in. I really can see that coming in. Franklin said he won't do that after what happened going to a struggling Arsenal. I don't quite know what we were talking about for that comment. I do apologise. This is the problem. When I try and get to as many comments as possible, I lose where I am sometimes. Is that a pug? All right, see you later. Have fun. See, the wife's going to the gym as well. Everyone's going to the gym in this house apart from the pug. He won't do that after what happened going to a struggling Arsenal. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I know what we're talking about. Oh, sorry. Right, we're talking about Unai Emery. Yeah, look, I think Unai Emery's done absolutely bloody fantastic at Aston Villa. For 2 years solid, his form has been brilliant. There's been none of that. Aston Villa have just done that and fair play to him. I think he's been absolutely exceptional. I think he's built a squad that all play the way he wants to. I think they're a squad capable of playing some really good football, but they're also capable of digging in. I think he's done a great job. Spurs analysts said the difference between us and the top teams throughout the season will be our squad depth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Must keep players fit to keep up with them. Absolutely. And the thing is, we won't. Maddison at some point will get an injury. Van der Ven will. I think Son's already now got an injury. This is going to be the interesting thing for me. I completely agree with you. By the way, please do keep smashing that like button. We should be on 200 likes by now. Only on 142. And do smash the subscribe button. 2 tickets to give away. I can't give away 2 tickets. Expensive tickets for Tottenham Hotspur versus Ipswich. And a free Spurs shirt. Bella has said people talk about generational talent in Gray and Bergvall. Mikey Moore at the moment is better than both and younger. Yeah, I think the interesting thing here is that, and this is why when people say, oh, everyone's getting on Gray's back. Look, we spent 40 million on the kid. I think a lot of people are expecting him to come in and be really, really good because that's where 40 million of our budget went. For Spurs not to go out and buy a senior pro for 40 million and buy an 18-year-old who's never played top-flight football, I don't know if the excuse of, oh, he's only a kid, give him time, actually works. Absolutely, please smash that button. Liverpool Truth Channel has said Saka is consistently good, but under Arteta, he has been shackled and not allowed to grow his game. That is why people say he's not world-class. Well, there's a theory for you. Has Saka been shackled by Mikel Arteta? Phil P has said, if Kulu keeps up his recent upturn in form, could the Kulu Defence League count on your support? Look, Phil, I can't stand Kulu on the right wing. Kulu coming into the middle, and I don't mean floating in there, I mean playing in the middle, very good footballer. Huge difference, right? What 15 yards can make a difference? I don't think he's a right winger. I've said it all along. I never thought he was a right winger. He's pleasantly surprised me with how good he's been in the midfield. But, Phil, this is the thing for me. You know what I'm going to say. It's consistency. It's okay doing it over 3 or 4 games. It's got to be, can he do it over a season? And I'm not saying he can't. But again, can we see these players have great form over a season? Nicola said, I'd say Archie Gray needs to go on loan in January. He's not ready for this level yet. I agree. Mark said Gray played right back for Leeds. He might have played right back for Leeds. Yeah, he played there because they didn't have anyone else to play there. And if you actually look at his defensive stats when he played at right back for Leeds, they weren't very good. For me, he's been bought as a central midfielder. Play him. Give him some games in central midfield. TB has said, agreed. Our best players are Mickey van der Ven and Maddison. I'm a big believer in the youth we've signed as well. I think Gray will be the best of the bunch. I keep seeing people say this. I think for me, I don't think he's looked anywhere near as good as Moore or Bergvall. But we'll see. We'll see. Look, it's interesting. I need to be convinced by Gray. So far, I've not seen him play, and I don't feel confident. I watch him and I just think, yeah, you look scared. But hey, he's 18. EJ said the reason people are having to go at Chelsea is because of the ownership model and the amount of money they've spent. Sure, but, each to their own, right? Each to their own. It is what it is. Look, I think Chelsea have bought a lot younger players now with that £1 billion they spent. They spent, on a lot younger players. But I like what they're building. I actually think they're building a decent team. Paul Van Beek said Romero scored today just because he's October on my Tottenham calendar. Well, there's as good a reason as any for Christian Romero to score today. Jug Season, who would you take out of Cole Palmer, Saka or Foden? I think it's a difficult question, isn't it? First of all, I think straight away that should be the 3 that play behind Harry Kane for England. That is what I would do. Look, I think it's difficult. Foden's a very different player to the other 2. They're all very different players. Cole Palmer's the one in form. Foden, for me, though, is the one that's done it year in, year out. So, for me, I think Foden, but Cole Palmer's a sensational footballer. Bukayo Saka's a very good right-sided player. Fits into what Arsenal want. That would be my 3 for England behind Harry Kane. Probably. Listen, We've got a lot of good players in England, haven't they? SAVVA, what do you think of Basuma since joining Spurs? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. For me, I think it shows the type of player he is. He's a good player. He's an inconsistent player. I think we've got a lot of those types of players. And it's what happens. So, for example, at the moment, Bentancur's in good form. But Bentancur does this. He has 4, 5, 6 good games. Then he drops off a cliff. Basuma does it as well. And then they bounce back. So, again, I'll say what I've said about Spurs, about the manager, about everything at the club. I am so consistent in talking about consistency, it's unreal. And still people don't understand, not you, but still don't understand what my thoughts on Spurs are. Consistency. It can't be 3, 4, 5. It needs to be, and I'm not saying you win every game, but it needs consistency. We need to see that Kulu and Maddison playing together, which has worked well, works throughout the season, not for 3 or 4 games. We need to see that Bentancur's really good in that number 6, whatever role he plays, more than 3 or 4 games. I don't agree with you at all, Jack. I'm so sorry. I mean, we did this last year, and I don't think we're learning. If we win this game, we definitely have to be in the title race conversation. I mean, Jack, are we not? I'll say it. Are you not learning from last year? Title race after 7 games. Listen, I'm going to show you this, Jack, right? Those 3 at the top, they're title race. They've got the squads, they've got the managers, they've got the know-how. They're title challengers. Spurs are not. We need to stop doing this. We did this last year, and I don't know if any of you remember, I was absolutely battered from pillar to post by Spurs fans. SAVVA's not a real fan. Don't listen to him. We're definitely in a title race. I mean, and we finished like 25 points behind off the title, right? Or off Arsenal, whatever it was. Look, I don't think the squad's deep enough. I don't think there's enough backup to go on in a title race. I don't think the first 11's good enough to be in a title race. I just think we should concentrate on progression rather than this silly talk of title race. Sorry if that offends anyone. Sorry. And listen, if I'm wrong at the end of the season, I'll say I'm wrong. But we had this all last year. Last year, after 10 games, we were top, and there were people guaranteeing me league titles. I just think we don't learn. Look, I'm sorry, but already, if we don't win today, right, look at the gap between us and the big clubs, and we're talking about title races. Does anyone truly believe that a forward line of Solanke, Son, and Johnson can go on a title charge? Albert, you didn't use your ears, did you? You didn't use your ears, right? This is what frustrates me most about anything, right? I didn't say Arsenal have won the league in 2 decades. Arsenal have the know-how for a title race. Got to listen to what I said. Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal have all been in multiple title races over the last 5, 6, 7 years. Those clubs know how to do it because football fans, we never ever we never learn. Football fans, after 6 games, we're in a title race. No, stop. Let's have this conversation when we're in the top 2 in January, February. If we're not, then let's not. And again, Jack, I completely disagree. I don't think we've got a better squad than last year in any way, shape, or form. How have we got a better squad? We let go of about 13 senior pros, and the only senior pro we brought in was Dominic Solanke. We have a better defensive midfield depth than most sides. Better defensive depth. Are you kidding me? We have 3 centre-halves at the football club. Are you kidding me? Mate, I think you're having an absolute mare here. I'm sorry. I just think, you know, but I don't know what this means. Puff love, but I thought we would finish 7th. I don't know what you mean. Can anyone decipher this comment? I think he's calling me a clown. I'm not sure why. I thought we would finish 7th. I don't know. Are you talking about my prediction of Spurs finishing 7th? Explain. See, this is when I think when people come on with comments like this, make me understand what you're saying. Otherwise, no one actually knows what you're saying. Spurs have got a hard fight to get 5th. I completely agree with you. Sorry, Jack. I mean, look, Jack, I get it. I love the positivity. But, okay, if we don't get top 4 and we don't win the Europa League, you know, you're the sort of fan that next year will say the same thing. It's just a bit mad. Exactly, Kate. I don't know what people see. I really don't. Absolutely, Ryan. Yes, Chelsea and Villa have improved more this season. Red Smoke, I try, but I get so much abuse for it. I try. I cannot understand that a team that have to keep deploying Archie Gray at right back, centre back, and left back, and Ben Davies is still there, I have the audacity to talk about squad depth in defence. I don't know what we're doing here. I really, really don't. Jack said again, some of the senior pros we let go were all deadwood that you wanted gone. We finally did it, and now you rate the deadwood. Jack, right, first of all, stop being disingenuous. Where on earth did I say I rate the deadwood? No. Listen, that's not what I said. But again, you're saying the kids we have are much better. Are Gray and Bergvall right now better than Lo Celso and Højbjerg? If they are, on what evidence? So, Jack, no, you're making things up. You're making things up here. Yeah, Phil, I know. I said 7th. I don't know what's funny. I don't know what's funny about it at the end of the day. I said we'll finish 7th. It's a long season. You watch, right? We did this last year. We had a we had a blistering start last year, and I said last year the squad's not good enough to cope, and it wasn't. Now we've got Europe as well. I still don't think the squad's there. I think people like Jack talking about these kids, they haven't done anything yet. They haven't justified anything yet. Big up, Faz. Hope you're well, my man. I said, big up, Sav. I hope you're well. Do you feel better about game changes on the bench each game as compared to last season? Nope. Who are the game changers we got coming off the bench? I don't think we've got game changers coming off the bench. That's just my opinion. I think that I don't really know if we've got many game changers. And the ones we've got tend to be in the 11. So I don't think so, Faz. Let me know who you're referring to. Carlos said every team has a run each season, but Spurs fans think we are world beaters after beating 5 average sides. Look, again, it's why I keep my feet on the ground, right? Is why I keep my feet on the ground. By the way, if we finish 4th, people will go on as though we've won a league. And listen, we've been here, we've seen this, we've done it before. You know, it's nothing new. We finish this now. Anne said that the reason they haven't got a full centre back is because he didn't want to block the development of Vuskovic and Phillips. I mean, that's all well and good, but the fact that neither of them are here. Puff Love has said Spurs in title race makes you Spurs in title race makes you scared because you know would get mudded by true fans. Yes, I'm scared of being in a title race. Oh my God, please, Spurs. I don't want my team to win a league. Please, no, stop. What a dickhead this bloke is. But big up to you. He's gone on to say, so you lie to 7, so get Arsenal super chat. I mean, I've got absolutely no idea what this guy's talking about. First things first, mate. I mean, I think you need to actually get a dictionary and understand what you're actually trying to say to me. But good try. Onus has said, we will win the league. We will win the league or top 4. Do you know what? Sometimes when I jump onto Spurs YouTube, right, I truly believe that I've gone into another dimension. Like, first of all, they make out like I don't want to win things, which is absolutely mad, which is the reason why I hate our owners, because we've not been winning things. But how can anyone look at that league table there and go, yes, we're winning a league title? Like, what's going on? Why are we doing this? Where is this hope and confidence coming from that we're winning a league title? I truly believed that last season would actually make a few of the idiot Spurs fans that talk, and I'll say it to anyone's face, anyone who said we're winning a title is an idiot. They're an idiot. Absolute idiot. I don't care if you're a YouTuber or not. Any of you that said we can win a league, idiot, right? I thought what happened last year would actually get people a little bit humble and that say, you know what, let's learn our lesson. Nope, we're right back at it this season. We can win a title. Oh my God, we don't learn. Big up, Blaine. How you doing? Big up, Sava. You know I'm a man, a few words, but being a Spurs fan, first and foremost, I watch every game with trepidation. VDV bails out too much. Romero's been off. The Dogie figured out. Worried. Look, I think we're going to see, as we play the better teams, we're going to see, right, Blaine Dev? Big up to you, my man. Always very generous in the community, and that's why you're well loved. Thank you very much. Look, we're going to find out as the season goes on. I think a lot of hype is being put in the games you've played. But if I had said to you, and I'm not knocking it, you can only beat who's in front of you. But if you can, if you can't remember what I was saying now. Yeah, if you actually look at those games, we said at the beginning of those 5 games, Coventry is a definite win. Karabag, Ferencvaros, Brentford. The only one I was iffy with was Man United, but we won it. So for me, go on the run now, beat the better teams. Sorry, I found another idiot in the chat. I don't mind Archie Gray. Goes on a long tirade slagging Gray off. I didn't slag him off. Again, grow the F up. I'm a cow. You're right. He's losing his spanner for that. What an idiot. I didn't slag him off. Me not thinking he's great is different to me saying I don't mind him. He is a kid. Yes, he's a kid. So let him get there. Yeah? Say it. You don't like him. What an absolute dickhead this person is as well. I'm sorry. I can't have someone like that in my chat with a spanner. You cannot in any way, shape or form be an idiot that much. And what a stupid thing to say. What an idiot. Yeah, remove a standard moderator. Sorry, mate. That is absolutely... These guys and girls, this is where the lies come from. See, because I say I haven't seen anything in him yet, just say you hate him. Imagine that bloke there, right there, works for you. Imagine that is an employee of your company, and that's the limited understanding of his reasoning skills. That he heard me say, I've not seen anything yet. Just say if you hate him. What are we doing? What are you doing? We need 4 transfer windows if we want to win the league. I mean, yeah, that's just plucking a number out the sky. To win the league, though, you've got to have a squad that can compete with Man City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. And I just don't think that we've got it. He is definitely the spanner, lost his spanner. I just can't have idiots. I'm really trying to make this a grown-up channel where people can come and talk, and you just get idiots saying stupid things, Seven. It blows my mind. You have a fake winning mentality to get league gunner funds. I don't know what this means. Let's just block that clown, shall we? There you go. He's blocked. I think everyone gets 2 chances, then they get blocked. Ryan has said, Aniela, it's my hope. And I think with an optimistic approach, hoping for a bit of luck along the way, why not? If I think otherwise, I may. Are you talking about hope for winning the league? It's madness. Yeah. Sorry, wow, Savvy, you pay your mods. I've got no idea. Why is it we have such a good hour and then people start coming in and it's really, really silly? I don't know what's going on. I agree, Carlos. This is the thing for me. As a fan, I've said for years, evidence. That's what I need. When we talk about winning trophies, when we talk about title challenges, you've got to show me evidence that we can. Not 6 games, not 4 games, not 10 games. Title challenges aren't based on the first 10 games last season. And that is what none of our fans understood last year. None of our fans understood that last year. And they're doing it again this year. Not everyone, but look at the portion. Blaine Dev, big up, I said, agree, Sava. When we go up against Liverpool, Chelsea, City, even Villa, would any of us in this chat right now be confident to say we would beat them home or away? Look, I think some of them at home we might give a really good game to, but listen, by the way, I've said, Blaine Dev, I think we're beating Brighton today. This isn't about that. This is about when people are talking about a title race after 6-7 games. I feel like we've gone mad. And then, look, you get silly comments like this saying, I'd rather be positive than negative. No. Saying Spurs aren't in a title race isn't negative. The truth isn't negative. We held our own against Arsenal. Oh, great. So why are we 8 points off the top of the title? Like, what are we doing? I'd love some of these people. If you really feel that Spurs are in a title race right now, if you truly believe Spurs are in a title race right now, come on right now and have a chat. Right? Come on right now if you think Spurs are in a title race, and tell me why. Let's have that debate. But people won't. It's a nice thing to say. Big up Mario's been very nice. So big up SAVVA and the mighty Spurs. 3 points today. Absolutely. Mario, I've got Spurs to win 2-1 as well. So I think 3 points today for Spurs. Big up to you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all your support throughout the years. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for being very loyal. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Mario. And big up to Blaine Dev, who's just become a new channel member. Big up, Blaine Dev. Good to see you, mate. I hope all is well with you and the family. Big up to you. I do find it funny. But there's no one is talking about a title race, mate. There's people in this chat talking about title races. Yes, there are people talking about title races. Kate, I agree. Listen, for me, I think what we should be doing is I think we should be looking at this and saying, right, we finished 5th last year. Can we go one better? Can we go one better this year and get Champions League? That, for me, is the marker of have Spurs progressed, right? And Deji and I had a good conversation about this the other day. Have Spurs progressed? That's what you want to see year in, year out. But when we're talking about title races, I just... yeah. I mean, I get triggered by idiots. Yeah. I don't understand it. I just don't understand who is watching Spurs and going title race. Like, we find ways to belittle Villa, right? We find ways to belittle Chelsea, right? But we're winning a league title. I've just never heard such tosh in my life. Tony said Spurs are at least 10 years off a title race. Look, I think I'll always say this, right? Title races depend year to year. What did you do to strengthen? Tottenham in the summer window bought in Solanke and loads of kids. If we truly believe that that was enough to challenge for a title, then I want whatever those people are smoking. Big up Phil, who says Europa League and 4th is realistic. I mean, again, a lot of people are very, very confident of winning Europa League for a club that haven't won a trophy for 17 years. We'll see. I'd love to win the Europa League. For me, we're going to fly out of this league, and then it's about who you get, right? Then it's about who you get over 2 legs. We'll see. Yes, we can go one better. Okay, well, let's finish 4th then. No excuses. This is the thing. When people make definite predictions, we will finish 4th. We will win a trophy. Sure, but you have to own that at the end of the season, right? You've got to you've got to own those predictions. A lot of people say a lot of things, and then when it doesn't happen, they start coming back. I agree, Spurs Truth. I agree. Yes, I know our squad isn't good enough. Yes, Lee, this is the thing. I don't think a lot of these fans have supported Spurs for long if they say things like that. Like, listen, I'd love Spurs to win the Europa League. I really, really would. But I've heard so many years of being in European competition where we say things like, well, we're the best team in the Europa. We're the best team in the conference. This, that. And then we don't win it. And there's an excuse time after time after time. And Dave said, what is your thoughts about Man United? Do you blame the players or manager? I think the whole thing's a mess. I think the whole thing is a mess from manager through to players. I think there's some good footballers at Man United that they don't get the best out of. It still looks to me like a team. It looks to me like a team that don't have a plan. They don't have a pattern of play. So I think that I mean, listen, I think it's great for the rest of the league that they're keeping him there. Yeah. I think it's great for the rest of the league. I don't want to see Man United change manager because a new manager could come in and do better. Ryan said, I think the squad has gone backwards a little, but sometimes you need to take a step back to move forwards. We are hopefully building towards something for the future seasons. Look, Ryan, listen, I think that the key thing for me is I got this a lot. If you remember, I invited a few people on who disagreed with me at the beginning of the season, and they kept telling me about Spurs have a stronger squad. But when I asked how, no one could actually tell me. If you want to chuck Bergvall and Gray into conversations about stronger squads, that worries me because they are kids. For me, Solanke, cool. What else? We let go of a lot of experience. Now, whether or not fans wanted them or not, we let go of a lot of experience and didn't replace the experience. And as the season goes on, you'll start to see injuries, suspensions, form, lack of maturity. These things all kick in. It's a long season. EJH just said, good chance to get into the quarterfinal of Europa. See what happens after that. Do you know what? The best thing you said there, yeah? Depending on the draw, of course it is. This is the thing. When we all talk about winning trophies at this stage, listen, you know, we could get a really tough game in the first knockout stage and lose. Or we could get a really nice draw and just cruise through to the final. So listen, I hope Ange lifts that trophy more than anything. But we'll see. We'll see. Phil COYS said, we aren't in a title race. I hope I'm wrong. I'll be there for the parade. We'll all be there for the parade. I just can't see it, mate. I just can't see it. I know, Angus, but this is where I think YouTube and the internet allows silly people to come on. I think that's the problem, right? I think it allows people to just say really stupid things. Where are we? Just a reminder, this is a results business. Always, Lord Rodney. Always a results business. Faz has said, big up SAVVA. I meant to say, do you feel nervous about any player on the bench this season apart from Davis? Yeah, I feel nervous about Bergvall. I feel nervous about Werner. I feel nervous about Gray. I feel nervous about Jed Spence. I feel nervous about Davis. Yes, I do. I really, really do. Theo has said, Ange will definitely be on Man United's radar if Ten Hag goes. We need to be careful, make sure he stays, see this project through. Yeah, I can't see Ange going over to Man United. I just can't see it. I think he'd be absolutely crazy too. I don't know if would he really want to start again. I can't see it in any way, shape or form. Corey, big up, bro. Has anyone coming to the match day today? Heads up, traffic in and out of Brighton is mental. Also, make sure you bring waterproofs. That's from 4 p.m. 4 p.m. onwards, it's going to chuck down. Big up to you. Thank you for Corey, the weatherman. Hope you're well. Many of the fan base now are. It's a lot of it now, Samuel, is, but say something nice. And if you don't say something nice, you're negative. I just can't get this through my head. I just can't get it through my head. Oh, SAVVA doesn't think we're going to win the league. He must be negative. What? I'll ask this question. To anyone that thinks Spurs can win the league. Can Aston Villa win the league? I'll just leave that out there. Trevor Crook said, I'm enjoying the style of football now. Yeah, listen, as I said, I want to see it against the better teams. But yes, absolutely. Some of the football we play is very, very good. Some of it is mundane. Some of it is very, very good. And long may that continue. Jack said, we don't need to be scared of the draw. We're the strongest team in the Europa League. Based on what, Jack? Again, based on what? Based on what are we stronger than teams in that Europa League that have won trophies throughout the years? Based on what are we the strongest team? Again, we just say things because it's nice. Sav, would you say that the big clubs have gotten weaker this season or stronger? I would say that Arsenal has strengthened. They've added more depth. I would say that Liverpool... I would say Liverpool are the same, but Liverpool have got a different manager, and look at them, they're flying. Man City, I would say, are as they were. I don't think they really needed to do a lot, but they've also added Savio in. So for me, I would say that they're all strong. They're all very strong. What realistic players? Oh gosh, let me come to that a bit later. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't even think at the moment, my man. I really can't think right this second. But big up to Super Chat here from Dear B. Big up to you. Super Sticker. Love you to bits. Thank you, Dear B, forever here. Every show with his cheeky little super stickers. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much, mate. Faz Radfar said, knowing you would love if proved wrong by Ange. And when you say prove wrong by Ange, let me know what you mean, Faz. Prove wrong, for me, listen, this year, Ange has to finish in the top 4 or win a trophy to better last year. If he doesn't, nothing's improved, right? If Spurs finish 5th and don't win a trophy, it's equal to last year. If Spurs finish 6th and don't win a trophy, it's less than last year. So for me, get top 4, prove me wrong, And then I turn around and go, fair enough. But big up to you, Faz. Thank you for the generosity. And Blaine Dev, always very generous. Really appreciate it. So I'd love to get your opinion on Dragusin. Touted up for Barca by the agent. Had a good Euros, but I've yet to see a good performance in a Spurs shirt. Think it's a lack of game time. Look, this is a really interesting question. I feel sorry for Dragusin. He's come in. He's not getting games. Then when he's chucked in, I think the pressure's too much. Playing in a formation that does not suit him. For me, this high line does not suit Radu Dragusin. I don't think he's that guy that's super comfortable on the ball, wants to bring it out, wants loads of touches. I think, and this is only my opinion, Blaine Dev, I think he's a centre-half that's no nonsense. He wants to defend. And I don't blame him. There are defenders that still want to defend. So for me, I think it's tough. Look, he came in... he came into the team in the last couple of weeks and didn't have good games. Didn't have good game against Coventry. Got sent off against Karabag. Look, I just don't know when this guy's ever going to get a run of games, and that's going to be the difficulty when we've got a manager that doesn't rotate. How do you get players in that are going to be happy? That's him. So look, hopefully I answer the question there, and thank you so much for the very generous super chat. Spot on point, SAVVA, on all points. The problem with younger supporters is that they are opening their mouths before they open their mouths before thinking of what they are saying. Most today live in fantasy land. Look, do you know what it is, Barry? I get it, right? People want to win titles, don't we all? But just saying it doesn't make it true. And I thought we'd done this to death last season. Just saying something's nice doesn't mean it happens. I want to go on a date with Margot Robbie. It doesn't mean it's happening. It's a nice thing to say. It's a nice thing to think about. Tottenham winning a title. It's lovely to think about, but it's not real for me. I'll happily be proved wrong. Look, here we go. SAVVA, we're the strongest based on the quality of players we have throughout the squad. A team winning a random trophy years ago isn't relevant now. Squad quality-wise, we're the best in the Europa League. Jack, please come on and tell me how you've come to this conclusion. I think once you scratch the surface, I don't think there's depth at Tottenham. We had to play Archie Gray at right back, left back and centre back the other night because there's no depth. We have to play these players because there's no depth. What are you talking about? Will Lancashire had to play because there's no depth. Sorry, Jack, you're just making things up by this stage. This is silly. This is really, really silly. Good morning to Kulu's elusive right foot. Hope you are well. Really, really do. Hope you are well. Big up. I really like Gravenberch. When Liverpool signed him, people were going, oh, he's rubbish. Consistent midfielder. You know what you're going to get him. I think he's a good player. I think he's a very good player. Again, given time, he started to bed down into that Liverpool team and make the spot his own. He's got a Dutch manager with him now. I think he's a really good player. Liverpool are winning games. That's what it's about. Liverpool are winning games. Absolutely, Liverpool are winning games. At the end of the day, it is what it is. They're not conceding goals at all, are they? I mean, if we look at the league table, what of Liverpool? Liverpool conceded 2 goals in 7 games. Like, that's crazy. And one was an absolute wonder strike from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Look, for me, I'm just a sort of fan. When people say things like this, I bet you if Jack came on and I asked him to tell me about the Athletic Bilbao squad, yeah? If I asked Jack to tell me about the Lazio squad, yeah, the Ajax squad, if I asked him to tell me about Porto squad, Real Sociedad, Roma, he wouldn't be able to. And that's where I find it really disingenuous when we just say, like, we've got the best squad. I don't know. Donna said, last season I got onto you for your takes, but over time realised you aren't negative, just real. Don, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. You did get onto me for my takes. But big up, welcome into the chat. I hope you're well. Mate, Faz, I've supported Spurs so many years. All I want is to win trophies. There's a difference between wanting to win them and just saying we're going to win them, right? That for me is the big thing. By the way, thank you to the 5 or 6 people that have subscribed, and thank you to all the people that have liked throughout the show. We are going to go for another 10, 15 minutes, and then I need to go to the gym, and then I'll be back live at 2:30 with Iggy and Kuva for pre-match warm-up talk. EJH just said Liverpool went with continuity in the summer and tweaked certain aspects of the tactics. EJH, I agree. I think everyone lost their mind that Liverpool didn't do a lot. I think Liverpool have got a really good squad. I think Liverpool have got a very good squad indeed. Do I think they've got enough to win it? No, I don't, but I could be proved wrong. I think it's going to be a really interesting battle between those three teams at the top. We'll see. Look, I think that the difficult thing is, Chris, as I said, are we ever going to see Radu Dragusin get 5, 6, 7 games in a row? And it's really difficult to judge a player that doesn't, right? We see him, he played well for his previous club. He plays well for Romania. He's playing week in, week out. But we'll see. In a league with Man City, you're not going to win the league. All guns blazing. Klopp tries it 8 times and 1-1. Don't worry, Spurs are winning the league this year. Don't worry. Let's see. Spanner said, Ange game plan does not work in the EPL. I mean, listen, it does work. It depends to what level work means, right? I think a lot of the time, I don't think as fans, we actually ask the question. Like we always say things like, has so-and-so proved you wrong? On what basis? Yeah, do you know what I mean? So-and-so scored in two games. You're wrong about him. Okay, but is my judgment of a footballer about what they do over 2 games or 2 years? You know, it's always very interesting. Big up to Nige, pure COYS, very generous. You didn't have to, mate, but thank you very much. Said big up, SAVVA. Good win needed today. I'm going 3-1 Spurs. Much love and thanks for your advice yesterday. You're one of the good ones. Thanks, Nige. I know a lot of people think I'm a horrible one, but I'm always trying to help people. And listen, I'll always help you. You know that. So big up to you. Thank you for the super chat and much love, brother. Big up to you. Let's see what we got in the chat. Who have we got here? Harry the Hamster said, forget the league. We should aim for the League Cup and then improve and work our way up. Why does it always have to be 0 to 100 all the time? Harry, I agree. Harry, I agree. We go from, oh my God, Spurs are dreadful to, I think we can win the league. It's just like madness. Just madness. 25 years of proves us we aren't winning anything. Look, listen, again, if we're going to win a League Cup, listen, we got Man City in a couple of weeks. Let's get them to the lane. Let's knock them out. Then we're going to have to play someone probably like a Liverpool or an Arsenal or a Chelsea. So, listen, I always think when people talk about winning cups this early, I get it. When you're Man City and Liverpool and that, you've got the squads you should be. When you're Spurs, I think a lot has to go right for you, right? No, she hears me talk about it all the time. She hears me talk, but yes, yeah. But do you get what I mean, Blaine Dev? It's like, we're living in this 2024 world where everyone's offended by anything that is said. Anything is said. Oh, you called me by this pronoun. You did this. Oh, I identify as that. Oh, you can't say that. That hurt my feelings. You did this. You did that. It's like, oh my God. Like, what are we doing here? Oh, you know, like that person earlier. I get that all week. You're not a real Spurs fan. Sorry, why am I not a real Spurs fan? Because I don't think we're winning a league title or in a title race. Is that the definition now? The whole fan base to be real fans is, yes, we're in a title race. It's just absolute madness. I think we can win, but I'll have to wait to see where we are at Christmas. Owners, please come on and tell me why you think we can win the league. I'd love to know. I can tell you about all the squad, SAVVA. Ajax have been awful for the last 2 years, same as Lazio. Sociedad are also struggling. None of them have a VDV Romero, Sun, Bis, Kulu, Solanke. I mean, some of those teams have got better strikers than Solanke and better midfielders than Basuma and Kulu. So what are you going on about? Jack, the funny thing about this is a cup competition, right? What makes me laugh is, again, if you're going to say those squads have been, you know, some of these clubs have been awful for 2 years and struggling, what have Spurs done in the last 2 years? What have Spurs done that suddenly propels us to be the favourites? I just don't get it. I feel like, Jack, do you know what you are? And as again, I'll say this to your face, you're welcome to come on. I know you won't. But you are all heart, no substance. And I get that. You're like when that guy, who's that guy that came on, Gary? It was all heart. There was no substance to anything that was being said. And that's great, but it doesn't make you right. My thoughts on Saka, what I've seen of him, yeah, he looks okay. He's done some good bits. There's certain games where I don't notice him playing. But we'll see. He's a good footballer. I just think your lot go just a tad overboard about him. We have Ange. Anything is possible. Sure. Well, let's wait until he's successful before we say things like that, right? Yes, this is it. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is it. The sheriff, the quad is on. Absolutely. The quad is on until the quad is not on. Big up to you. Big up, Mark. Hope you had a great birthday the other day. Big up to my three girls who's just put in a super sticker. Big up to you. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate your support there. Thank you very much. Really, really do. Sociedad were in the UEFA Champions League knockouts last season. Not that it really means much if you don't win the Champions League. But this is what I mean. Again, we're looking at teams that have done well over the last few years. And suddenly it's none of them are any good. Only Tottenham are good. And I can't get my head around that way of thinking. I just can't get my head around it. It's never been me to lie. I can't, going on a long period of time without winning is not uncommon for a majority of the teams in the Europa League. Only a few teams can boast that. Sure, who's boasting that? Us? Is that what we're saying? Our 5 games that we've had? Onus, I'd love you to come on. You chat a lot of nonsense. I'd love you to come on. You really do say some silly things. Andrew said, blind faith and optimism versus logic. Logic loses every time. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean. Surely logic wins every time, doesn't it? Anton has said, Ange looked like he wanted to fight in the car park over his defence of Werner. Good show. Well, let's talk about it, guys. This show's going on longer than I thought. Let's talk about it. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Oh, sorry. I meant to... let's talk about it, shall we? And yeah, if he plays Werner today over Moore, what's everyone's opinions? Who should play today, Werner or Moore? We know there's no Son. We know there's no Odegaard. Who should play today, Werner or Moore? Absolutely, and just to take responsibility of Werner. Of course he does. He signed him twice and he plays him. Ajax have Henderson in midfield, Chuba Akpom up front, SAVVA. The teams you named, yeah, but I'm not just talking about Ajax, am I? The teams you named have maybe 2 to 3 top players max. We have almost a starting 11 of high quality. See, again, this is where people lose me. This is where we have an almost starting 11 of high quality players. Why didn't we beat Newcastle, Arsenal, Leicester? Why were we crap against Coventry? Why did we just scrape past versus Ferencvaros? Again, this is so disingenuous. So if Spurs don't win the Europa League, what's your excuse going to be? Please let me know. And by the way, I think we should fly through the league stages. Let's see when we actually get to some top teams. Bernard said, let's enjoy the little wins and grow from there. I agree. But this is what I mean. Somebody said it in the chat earlier. We go from 0 to 100 so quickly. So who would people play? More or Werner? More. Werner. You wouldn't. I think you're more over Werner. More. Mikey Moore. I think I agree. I would love to see more, but I do think it will be Werner. I do. Which will disappoint, but it is what it is. Look, guys and girls, we're going to go for another 5 minutes, but get in your last-minute score predictions. We have got a show at 2:30. We'll have a bit of a laugh for an hour with the likes of Kuva, with the likes of Iggy, and then we'll get into the team news and talk more about the game in a serious way. Theo said, SAVVA, everything is blind faith until it happens for the first time. So you can't use that as an argument as to why we can't compete or win a title. I promise you this young core will explode. Theo, stop. Come on and tell me why it will. You can't promise something that hasn't happened. Again, blind faith doesn't win league titles. Stop with this childishness. Blind faith does not win league titles. Man City don't win league titles because of blind faith. They win it because they've got a world-class manager and world-class footballers. It is not blind faith that wins titles. When are we going to stop with this stupid narrative? I promise you this young core will explode. How? Come on and tell me. Theo, come on and tell me how you can promise something, please. Oh, Jesus Christ. What are we doing here? Ryan Sessegnon feels like Neymar each time Werner plays. Honestly, this fan base is just... this fan base... his fan base is just absolutely crazy at times. Just say it and it will happen. No, not yet. Kuva and I need to sit down and get a masterpiece. Don, you're welcome to come on. Camera, if your camera's on, you're welcome to come on. Anyone's always welcome to come on. I actually have a debate show that is all about debating me. I think this whole notion of people say things like, I promise you, based on what? You can't promise me. And by the way, when this person says, I promise you the youngsters will explode, what does explode mean? It's such a wishy-washy narrative. Put a definition on it. I promise you, yeah, we will explode and win a title. We will explode and finish third. Put a definitive on it. You can't just say wishy-washy things. Oh, how we laugh. Where are we? Let's have a look at some of these scorelines. 3-1 to Spurs. Got my fingers crossed, says Kate. A 1-1 draw here. A 2-2 draw here. 4-2 to Spurs. 4-2. A couple of 4-2s going on. Sammy Mehmet's gone with 1-1. Good afternoon to Striker. I hope you're well. 4-3 to Spurs. 3-1 to Spurs. 3-3. Hoping Brighton win, but I think Spurs will win 2-1. 3-2 to Spurs. A 2-2 draw. I've gone 2-1 to Spurs, by the way. I think we will win today. Werner is shite, mate. Don't drop your oh God! If you're talking to me, I'm not dropping my standards for anyone. SAVVA, you see now. Here's what happens. Theo hasn't got an answer to my question, so has moved the goalposts. SAVVA, are you seriously saying you can't see high potential in Bergvall, Moore, Gray, Udogie, Vukovic, Yang? Why can't they all come together to develop in a top team? That Theo, that's not an answer though. Right? First of all, don't put Udogie in there. Udogie's been a pro footballer for about 5 seasons now and plays international football. Yes, I can. Mikey Moore looks great. Bergvall, I think, has got really, really good feet, but needs to stop giving the ball away and needs game time. Gray, I don't know what Gray is. Vukovic and Yang, I don't know how we can even mention them when they're not here. But Theo, you're saying a lot of things without making a definitive point. What is the point you're getting at? Give me a time frame and the destination. Because I never said I can't see potential. You're twisting what I've said, and I can't stand it when people do that. And everyone in the chat can see what you're doing. Unless we can find some investment from somewhere under Levy, we will never really push the boat out on quality players. We'll hope to find gems like VDV and Romero. I mean, well, listen, I agree on VDV, but Romero, I mean, was very well known. But yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Honestly, I just don't know. He said they aren't ready today. Who? Who did he say? Mikey Moore and that aren't ready? It's... I don't know. Guys, girls, I need to go to the gym. I've thoroughly enjoyed the show. Most people are very, very sensible. So let's see. I'd love to know, Harry, you're a positive one. Harry, where will Spurs finish this year? Not having a go, I'm just asking you. Where will Spurs finish this year? Let me know. Phil COYS said the way Moore runs and dribbles with the ball is effortless. Yeah, and yet he'll probably still start Timo Werner over him, which will be worrying. Bit 50. Oh, sorry, no. 3-2 either way. Tony Austin. Mandy said SAVVA, Silva or Werner. Silva or Werner, Garland or Richarlison, and we're going to win the league. I don't know what that means, Mandy. I'm so sorry. What do you mean, sorry? Ryan said, you said Bergvall and Gray aren't ready and need loans. I don't disagree. It doesn't mean you're saying they don't have Look at Aston Villa just brought in a young midfielder from Juventus, stuck him straight out on loan. Stuck him straight. Lots of clubs do this. But when I suggest Spurs should do it, it's crazy. Do you know why I think people don't want any of these youngsters to go out on loan? It's because they realise we didn't actually sign any senior pros. We didn't sign senior pros. We should have signed 3 or 4 senior players, and then you could have brought in Gray and Bergvall and said, go and have year loans. But we didn't. We need them because we've got no depth. So when people lie, like Jack Bain saying, look at the depth. It's like, what depth? We're having to play loads of kids. SAVVA, you like to go with logic. So surely after failing with win now managers like Conte and Jose, the logic says to him, no, hang on. Again, Theo, you've changed. That's not what we're talking about. I want you to quantify your statement. I promise you this young team will explode. What does that mean? And yes, you're going to fail with win now managers if you don't give them the players they need. So my logic, I haven't actually said anything. You are saying a lot of things without actually making a point. And Theo, come on. I'm asking you right now, come on. I'll hold off the gym for 10 minutes. Come on right now. Let's see. I bet you can't. Sid Crawley thinks we're going to finish 5th. Nicholas Nichols thinks 6th to 7th. Jamie's gone 6th to 10th. I agree. I think it's going to be between Chelsea, Spurs, Villa, Newcastle. Now, Man United, depending on whether they get a new manager or not. This, common sense, logic. You can't bring in Jose and Conte, give them the crap players you gave them and then expect them to win things. Even though Jose got us to a final. Jose got us to a final. More than Conte did or Ange's done, and yet we hate him for some reason. Harry thinks that VDV will go to Bayern in 2 seasons. We shall see. I trust the coaches. Sure. You trust them to make the loan decisions. That's fine. But let's see then. So then, if you don't think they need a loan, then right now we're saying that Bergvall and Gray, if they're not good in a game, I'm going to critique them because you're telling me they're ready right now. Exactly, Phil. The squad is too thin to do it. Exactly. Jack has said, SAVVA, the senior pros you keep going on about, we have signed for the last 10 years and most of them become deadwood within a couple of seasons. This is why it's better to now scout youngsters instead. Jack, you've got to have senior pros in your squad. You've got to. Why do City? Why do Liverpool? Why do Arsenal? You need senior pros. Why are all the teams that are winning things doing it and we're not? Use your noggin. You've got to have senior pros in the squad. Jack, I'd love Jack to come on. Jack and Theo, who I think are the same person. I think that's a bit too far for them this season. But I do think I do think that they're good, Chelsea. I do think that they're good. KB has said a foundation spine is way more important than spending 200 million on kids' talent. A 200 million spine that are there that are about 25 to 29 would do the... Listen, do you know what? I love KB, right? I love it, and I agree with you. I love it that because now we've only signed kids, everyone finds a reasoning now as to why signing top-level players that are ready to play now isn't the way to go. It makes zero sense. I've told you, most of this fan base, we don't deserve success. We are so arrogant with nothing to be arrogant about. Here he goes again. SAVVA, you fail to understand the difference. You compare it. No, I'm not comparing us to City and Liverpool. They can sign the best senior pros because of their status. We can't. No, Jack, no, that's not what I said. Jack, 2 of these and 1 of these, as Kuva said to you. 2 of these, 1 of these. Just because we can't sign what Man City signed doesn't mean you just buy kids. No. And you know what's funny? You're talking about this young core. Our midfield 3 aren't young. Maddison, Bentancur and Kulu. That's not young. Our front 3 isn't young. Is it? Son, Solanke and Brennan Johnson. That's not young. Is our back 4's younger? But are we going to go on like Are we really going to go on like we've got this core of 18, 19-year-olds that are all playing? The players you're mentioning, Jack, don't start for a reason. It's madness. There's this myth that all youth players will grow together and peak. Yes, they don't. We always get this. Listen, I'm gonna stop this show. I think some people are getting a little bit too silly now. These are the same fans, not you, Harry. These are the same fans that last year did this with me when we were talking about winning the league, right? This is the same thing. Fans like this were saying the same things to me last year, and then what they said didn't happen, and they've changed. I'm in the gym, convenient, and I'll say it with the eye test. I love the profile of the young core we have and can see they will be top players. We will win the league under Ange. Are you Australian by any chance, Theo? I love this. Of the young players, the teenagers that we've bought, who's actually impressed? Who has actually impressed? Yang's still away. Bergval's done nothing in a Spurs shirt. Gray's done nothing in a Spurs shirt. Who's actually impressed to talk about winning a title? Theo, last question I'll ask you. You do not answer. Have you noticed Theo never answers? We will win the league. When? Tell me when we will win the league. Absolutely, KB. Bang on. Yeah, not according to Jack and Theo. Yes, West Ham went and signed players like Paqueta and Kudus. But we can't. We can't buy a Paqueta or a Kudus. We want 18-year-olds. Our fans just, honestly, some of them just do not deserve anything. They really don't. Guys, girls, I'm going to leave it there. I really must go to the gym. Then I need to eat. Then we've got the stream starting in just under 3 hours, 2:30. Please join me there. Absolutely. Our best youngster is a player that was already there, not even a player that we signed. Much love to you all. Thank you for all the super chats. Please continue to subscribe. Please smash the like button. And as I said, we're just over 165 away from giving away 2 tickets to Tottenham versus Ipswich and a free Spurs shirt. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you later. And as always, see you later. And come on, you Spurs.